I can easily understand how you could easily take my man, but you don't know what he means to me, Jolene. Hey, it's Nate with another piano tutorial. Today I'm doing Jolene by Dolly Parton. I adore this song. Dolly is a national treasure and it's really easy to learn. It's only 3 chords. The one tricky thing is the super cool guitar lick that kicks off the song and then pops up throughout. I'll give you 3 options for that, including an easy one. Let's jump in. Alright, so first off, I recommend you get the chords and lyrics chart. There's a link down in the description that'll help you follow along and see where the chords and the lyrics line up. And we'll start out with the chorus, which actually comes before the verse in this song. Here's the chords for that. And like I said, only 3 chords. We need a C sharp minor. That's going to be C sharp, E, and G sharp. This is middle C for reference here. Just doing 1, 3, 5 with the fingers there. We've also got an E major, which looks like that. So I'm doing an inversion of that where we can keep those top 2 fingers in the same spot and just move the thumb down to the B. And then finally, we do need a B major chord, which is gonna look like this. Once again, a smooth transition. Our thumb stays on that B. We come down to a D sharp and an F sharp there. And then, of course, we end up returning to the C sharp minor. For the left hand, easiest thing is to do single bass notes on the roots of the chords, the notes that they're named after. So for the C sharp minor, you could do a C sharp here with the 3rd finger. When you go to the E, you could use your 1st finger there on E, and then 4th finger here on the B, so you don't have to move your hand around. Now, that is how I'm gonna finger it for the verses, which are a step back. But in the chorus, I'm gonna be doing octaves. So it's gonna be like that, jumping my hand around on these different chords. If you can't do the stretch, do the single bass notes, but I think it sounds cool with the octaves. We're in 4/4 time, so each of these measures gets 4 counts. Well, mostly. There is a measure of 2/4 time there. Starting on that first measure, we've got C sharp minor, 2, E, 4. So it's half and half. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just playing in the right hand on every single one of those counts, doing quarter notes. Okay, now we've got that measure of 2/4 time on the B. 1, 2, that's all there is, and then we're back to 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, down to B, 2, 3, 4, then 2 measures of C sharp minor, 3, 4, 1, 2, before it loops around. And of course, this is with the singing. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. 2, 3, 4, and again, 2, 3, 4. Now we can add a couple more details to this chorus. One would be a left hand rhythm that gives it a little bit more energy. To do that, we need to think in 8th notes, so we're not just counting 1, 2, 3, 4. We're dividing the beat in half, putting ands between all the counts. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And I'm gonna hit the left hand not only on beat 1 and beat 3 when the chords change, but also on the and after 2 and the and after 4. It ends up being like this. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. And a little detail that it can be really nice is to hit together and do those off beats, the ands, with just the 1st finger on the higher octave. Sounding really good. And at the end of the line where we have those 2 measures where you're just hanging out on C sharp minor, that's a spot where the guitar riff is really shining. And I'm gonna go into more advanced detail of that after the verse because it's hard enough that I think it's pretty optional, but I'm gonna give you the easiest option now, which is gonna sound like this. So instead of doing the C sharp minor triad there, you can do C sharp, D sharp, and F sharp, 1, 2, 4 for the fingers. I'm just gonna do that 1, 2, and then the variation on 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So all the times this comes up in the song, you can do it that way. It happens in the verse as well. So let's look at that verse now, and then I will show you the more advanced versions of that guitar riff, which build off the easy version. Here's the chords for the verses. It looks a lot like the chords from the chorus. Main difference is that the B chord in the second measure is combined with the C sharp minor chord. There is no 2/4 measure. It's just 2 beats of the B over D sharp and the C sharp minor. Like I mentioned, I am going to do single bass notes here in the left hand, just so the verse feels like it's a bit of a step back from the chorus in terms of energy and power. And I'm going to keep doing that rhythm I was talking about for and off those ands. Okay, here's that B over D sharp. B, just like we've been doing it. The over D sharp part means we've got a D sharp bass note in the left hand. So we're just stepping down from the E like that. Then we're back to the C sharp minor, and then the other B is as it was before with just the B bass note. Your beauty is beyond compare, with flaming locks of auburn hair, with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. And you could do that if you'd like. So that's the first of 4 times through. Your smile is like a breath of spring. So it's 4 of those verses, and in the second chunk of verses, it's only 2 of them after the second chorus. And I just want to say, in like every piece of sheet music and other tutorials I've seen for this song, in that measure of B, a lot of times people do B for half the measure, then go down to G sharp minor, and then up to C sharp minor. It sounds pretty good. With ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. Now, I was kind of confused. It doesn't do that on Dolly Parton's version. I was like, where are people getting this from? I listened to the Miley Cyrus version. It doesn't do that either. So I don't know where it came from, but it's not correct to the recording. But if you like it, if you like the way it sounds, go ahead and play it. G sharp minor, G sharp, B, and D sharp. So at this point, you know everything you need to know to do a cover of this song. But as promised, I'm going to show you a couple more advanced versions of that guitar riff. The guitar riff happens in those 2 measures of C sharp minor at the end of each line of the chorus and each line of the verse. It also happens in the intro, which we didn't talk about, which is just 4 measures of C sharp minor, and then in the outro as well, which is also just measures of C sharp minor repeating and fading. So this is level 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is level 2. So to do this, we're going to need to think in 16th notes. So not just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but dividing the beat again and thinking 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Now the left hand is going to take over that quarter note pulse that the right hand has had. So we're just going to play C sharp on every single one of the counts. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. On beat 1, we're going to play C sharp and E, and then on the before beat 2, we're going to step up 2nd and 4th finger on D sharp and F sharp. 1E and And of course, right after that, the left hand hits another C sharp. 1E and 2. Again, 1E and 2. Now, the next thing that happens is we're going to step up to the kind of the top half of that C sharp minor triad on E and G sharp. That's going to be on the and after 2. 1E and 2E and. Again, 1E and 2E and 3. So there's that beat 3 left hand hitting. We're going to kind of go back and forth basically on these thirds here. Again on D sharp, back up to E and G sharp, back down to D sharp and F sharp. The timing on that is going to be, so from the second half of the measure, left hand hits 3E and 4E and. So on beat 4, the left and right hand hit together. And then on that final 8th note, we step down again. Again, I'm going to play the second half of that. 3E and 4E and. Count through the whole thing slowly. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and. With a rhythm like this, you got to just take it slow and mathematically like that. And if you're doing it right, it still won't really sound like anything at first if you're taking it slow enough to sort of grasp it correctly. But then you gradually speed it up over maybe a couple days, and it starts to click and it starts to sound awesome. And so a little faster, that's going to be 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2. And of course, you could do it with the octaves, or even so that was level 2. Now, level 3 is going to sound just like the guitar on the recording, but yet again, it's going to be quite a bit more tricky. It sounds like this. So here's all the counts and notes for that. Once again, we are playing the left hand C sharp, whether it's octaves or single notes, on each one of the numbers. The 1, 2, 3, 4. In my right hand, on the E and after 1, I'm going G sharp, C sharp, D sharp, 1 E and 2. Okay? Now, this is the tricky part. We're going back and forth between either F sharp and D sharp or G sharp and E. That can be a little tough for the hand. You can do 1 and 4, 1 and 5. You could also do 1 and 3, 1 and 4. Whichever feels better. And 3. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and... So the rhythm at the end of the measure is very similar to what we did in level 2. We're hitting the hands together on beat 4 and then on the and after 4 stepping down. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and Now, a couple ways you can still vary this. One makes it easier, one makes it harder. The easier way is to not always go down to the F sharp when you have the D sharp. Basically just harmonizing with the G sharp the whole time. It still sounds good. It's not quite as accurate. Or you can mix and match. Like that. The thing that makes it sound just like the guitar is to split up the F sharp and D sharp at the end of the measure and hit the D sharp a 16th note earlier. So from beat 4, it would be 4E and like that. That's what the guitar does on the recording. It's like a little pull off on the ba-da, and then the lower note hits after. So all together with that, it would sound like... So there you have it. You have options. You can take whichever one fits your level the best, or maybe you learn this song and for the first week or two you're playing it, you do the easiest version, and then maybe you're ready to add the second level of difficulty. In my cover, I'm gonna mix and match them just so I can spend a little time demonstrating each one. But whatever one you choose, you're gonna start the song with 4 measures of it, and you're also going to end the song with about 4 measures of it. So from the end of the last chorus, please don't take him even though you can. Let's say I'm doing level 2. Jolene, that was 3, 4. And then I'd probably just end on the C sharp minor there. It sounds like they're going around a little more on the recording, fading out, but just me and piano, I'm gonna end in kind of a decisive way there. Now, if you're doing level 3 and you're doing... You could totally just end on a C sharp minor like that in the lower inversion that's being implied there. I might do it up there though, just for finality. And then the song is over. Thank you for watching. I am now going to do a full cover so you can see how all these parts we talked about fit together, and I'm gonna mix and match the different levels for the guitar riff. Also, just a note, I am singing this an octave lower, but this is the original key. So if you've got a higher voice, you can sing it just like Dolly. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Also subscribe to the channel and click the bell if you wanna see more videos like this one. All right, here's my version of Jolene. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you. take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him just because you can. Your beauty is beyond compare, with flaming locks of auburn hair, with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. Your smile is like a breath of spring, your voice is soft like summer rain, and I cannot compete with you, Jolene. He talks about you in his sleep, there's nothing I can do to keep from crying when he calls your name, Jolene. And I can easily understand how you could easily take my man, but you don't know what he means to me, Jolene. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him just because you can. You could have your choice of men, but I could never love again. He's the only one for me, Jolene. I had to have this talk with you. My happiness depends on you, and whatever you decide to do, Jolene. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, Jolene,